Hello, Dijon here. In the comics portion of episode 142 of the Mustardcast, we go over what books we've been reading lately, finish up our review of Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1 with issues 6 and 7, and discuss what our next book will be. Please enjoy. But moving to comics, what have you guys been reading lately?
I got back into using the Webtoon app, and there's been this one comic I've been reading called Maybe Meant to Be, and it's actually really good. I have a hard time finding slow burn romance comics, but that one's actually really, really good. And then what else have I been reading? I forget. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head because I've just been binging it.
For me, Witch Hat Atelier updated recently, and that has me devastated. They dropped some crazy lore. I'm so excited for the anime in April, but also I'm so hurt. So Witch Hat Atelier, would you believe it? I'm rereading Trigun Maximum for the 4th time.
Nice.
To fill the void. That's been fun. Trimax is always great. I think that's it for me, really.
Yeah, been thinking about Witch Hat a lot lately because I'm like, I want to reread it and then I want to catch up, and then I want to start.
It's getting really good.
Yeah, I want to start getting the volumes physically. So I'm building up to that. When we start reading it, what happened? Because Bree bought me volume 1, but they still haven't gotten to me yet. So what happened?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
You're gonna have to hold on to it though, because I have the first volume digitally. So when we read Witch Hat in like March,
okay,
you can just read that one while I read the digital one I have, and then after we read it, you can give it to me.
Okay.
But like, yeah, we'll get to that. For me, still reading Song of Achilles. Read a chapter last night. It was the chapter where they make landfall. At Troy. So I make my way through that. Still catching up on One Piece slowly but surely. Read some One Punch Man and Chainsaw Man. And Kagurabachi, caught up on that. God, man, Kagurabachi is so damn good. All the memes were right. It is good. People were making jokes, but low key, it lived up to every single one of those jokes. Kagurabachi is, I'm telling you, bro, when this shit gets animated, it is going to destroy the world. That's assuming the animation isn't anywhere near as good as the art is in the manga.
Low key.
They could easily fuck it up. They could easily fuck it up.
I think in an ideal world, based on what you've told me and based on what I've seen, Kagurabachi done by Ufotable would go crazy.
Ooh,
I feel like.
Oh, you're right. And Demon Slayer's about to end. Hold on now. You might be cooking. You might be cooking. Demon Slayer is about to end.
Watch this space. Yeah. So if it happens, I told you so. But if not, that would be really cool.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Clear action. You can see everything that's happening. Let me just sing y'all some screenshots. Let me just
say, drop a panel
or
two.
Let me just, because the last chapter, bro. Oh my god, I just gotta show y'all a little bit something from this, bro.
Ooh, see, I have to hop on Peak.
See, this is the type of stuff we get.
This is one of the clearest manga like fight scene panels I think I've ever seen in my life, and I've been reading manga for a really long time.
It's just
like
it's so clear and crisp, and you can tell what's happening. You can follow the action.
You can tell what's happening. It's crazy.
This is like Dragon Ball level of like being able to follow the action. Like, it's okay.
Right.
R.I.P. to the GOAT Akira Toriyama.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also I guess moving on from manga, read some Radiant Black issue number 38. God, I'm caught up. 39 is the latest one. I just got to read that later tonight. Finally decided to sit down and finish a volume of a book that I got a long time ago and like read like the first issue. There's no I'm having the problem that you had, Bree, when we were reading what was it, Supergirl, and you were reading it by, was it Supergirl or was it it might have been, I can't remember what comic it was, but we were reading it.
It was Supergirl.
Yeah, you couldn't tell the chapter breaks. This doesn't even have the art that's like essentially the cover, but without the logo. There is nothing, so I can't tell what the chapter breaks are.
What?
So I'm just like,
that's crazy.
I'm just like
reading. This is a very long.
I just get to a point where I go, oh yeah, that looks like that's the end of the chapter. That makes sense as the end of the chapter. So I'm just gonna move on. Like the end of the last chapter I got. This is a G.I. Joe book. It's following Scarlet, one of the characters from G.I. Joe. And at the end of a chapter, Storm Shadow shows up, and I was like, that's for sure at the end of the chapter, so I'm gonna stop right there. um, so yeah, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes brother. G.I. Joe was cool when it wants to be, okay, but they keep messing up. They keep messing up the movies, but the comics are good.
I didn't even know there were G.I. Joe comics.
The comics. So let me tell you about the comics. The comics
Okay.
are taking place in the same universe as Transformers comics. They're sharing a universe. It's wild as hell. And I was reading Transformers. And fucking Duke, the main white guy of the G.I. Joes, was like flying a jet, and he was fighting Starscream, and it was crazy. It was random as hell.
That is insane.
But yeah, those comics are fun. I need to go pick up my comics because the snow stopped me. I should have went before the snow happened, but I didn't. So now I got a stack of comics waiting for me. Probably a thick ass stack. I read Ultimate X-Men number 20, which four issues left on that because they're ending at 24. I started reading Immortal Thor. I read the first issues and it is good. Something that's really cool is that Loki is, of course, in like Greek myth, Loki is like gender fluid. They don't like refer to Loki that way, but Loki basically is, and it's the same way in Marvel comics. And now they actively refer to Loki as they them in the comics. And at one point Loki says that they are the god and goddess of stories. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That like they are actually like making that a prominent part of the character. But I just straight up I need to finish Mighty Thor and Immortal Hulk, which same writer as you that's why it's also called Immortal Thor. I need to just finish both those books. That just so happen to be like predecessor books to this one. But I just started reading this one and it's good. It's real good. Finally read the second issue of the Batman Deadpool crossover. Got that one physically. And this is the DC published one. And it was good. I don't feel like opening it to see what the crossovers were. I know there was one between Wolverine and Nightwing, specifically Laura Kinney, formerly known as X-23, Wolverine and Nightwing. And they bonded over being the children of like famous superheroes. And was it? There was one between. I think that's the only crossover I remember. I think there was one between like the Hulk and Harley Quinn that was stupid, but the rest of them were cool. Oh, for a second, I thought like the audio cut out. I was like, what's happening? Oh no.
No. Okay. It took me a minute to process what you had said. My bad.
But next I have Absolute Flash number 10, Immortal Legend Batman number 4, Absolute March Manager number 7, which you can just start reading that because who knows when we're gonna get to it. Because Absolute March Manager is so good. And it's also like they're so excited. They're really taking their time with it. So like there's only 7 issues and there's 10 issues of the Flash, which started around the same time as Absolute March Manager, which took like a 2-month break at some point. And there's like 16 of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, but those started like a couple months before March Manager. Yeah, so it's like they're really taking the time with this one. So go ahead, read it. We'll get to it eventually, and then Bree can check it out.
Because I've been twiddling my thumbs. I've been biding my time this whole time. I'm like, yeah, we got our Wonder Woman, we got our Supergirl. Where is he?
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Okay, good.
I read Green Arrow number 31, which is unfortunately the end of this run, which was so good. Chris Condon, this is great. This is a good comic of his. People aren't loving his Ultimate Wolverine as much. I wasn't at first, and then towards the end it's getting better, but it's almost over now. But it's crazy that as soon as it started getting good, it's like, oh, now we gotta end it. But Green Arrow has been good for a while. It's Wolverine that only started getting good at the end. Shout out to Chris Condon. And last, Absolute Superman number 14. Getting into the book club. We're of course continuing to read Absolute Wonder Woman with these final 2 issues of Volume 1, issues 6 and 7, written by Kelly Thompson, with pencils and inks by 2 new artists, Mattia de Lulis and Dustin Nguyen. Colors also by them, letters by Becca Carey, covers by the original artist Hayden Sherman, and edited by Chris Conroy. Quick synopsis of the 2 issues. Diana defied the will of the gods in leaving hell, and Hades, lord of the underworld, takes that personally. But when he interrogates her, her tales surprise him. Will it change her fate? Kicking off a 2-part guest arc from the breakout artist of The Cull, Mattia de Lulis. And And then you got the Little Diana series by written by Kelly Thompson, the writer of this book, and drawn by Dustin Nguyen. And then in issue number 7, Diana has escaped the underworld once before. Can she do it again? It's a moment Diana and Cersei have always known would come. But when the time actually arrives, the price may be higher than one of them is willing to pay. But yeah, let's, of course, as usual, start with the art. 2 new artists. One for two-page short stories at the end of each issue, and then Mattia DeLulis drawing the vast majority of the book. Only for these 2 issues. Hayden Sherman comes back afterwards, but Mattia's art is good.
I really like the way that Diana is drawn in these.
Those
in these
big,
2.
expressive eyes.
Yes, I really love it.
Let me tell you
I really
something.
love it.
I sent a picture in chat. Okay, look, when she took those layers off, I instinctively said "damn" out loud.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Good God! What a broad woman. Oh,
Good googling muggling.
right.
But any other thoughts on that?
I just thought it was great, and I really like how it's like different, and it kind of specifically, and I think this is just because Blasphemous is fresh in my brain. The whole bit with Prometheus aesthetically was like something out of Blasphemous.
It
to me.
was.
And I really, really liked that.
It was.
Really liked that.
We need a Wonder Woman game in the style of Blasphemous.
We do.
I
We
would
do.
love
We
a
do.
Wonder
That
Woman
would
game.
Look, I'm gonna
amazing.
get into this later, but I mean I think I've told you this before, Abe, but like just straight up Hades, but Wonder Woman.
Would go crazy.
But Dustin Nguyen's art, very watercolor. For Little Diana, I've previously seen their work in Batman and Robin, Jason Todd, and it's gorgeous. Just imagine a whole book just watercolor, real good.
Ooh.
Side of Gotham, fire. That's it. We'll get into some analysis. Starting with issue number 6. So we see where the blue fiery hand that snatched Diana into the ground took her, and who it belongs to. As Diana kneels before Hades, who asks her to take over or to take off her helmet before proclaiming that she cannot leave the underworld. To which Diana defiantly responds with, "Except I did." Hades then asks Diana to disarm herself, and she takes off all of her armor, revealing the beautiful body underneath. And he then tells her to remove her weapons from her bag of holding, and we see a secret third blue lasso that we don't know about. Hades then tells his servant to bring the Nemesis lasso to him, but the servant is shocked with magical energy, as it was made so that no one but Diana could wield it. Hades then asks what the lasso is made from, and Diana begins to tell the tale of meeting the Titan Prometheus. Diana was sent to retrieve blood from Prometheus by her mother, and did so by freeing him for a short time, giving him water, and asking the eagles to stop pecking at his flesh. He rewards her kindness with not just his blood, but also his flesh, and tells her to cut the tip of his finger and to let the blood fly, and that blood turns to lava that the undead Pegasus emerges from. As she flies away with Pegasus, Diana ruminates on the true potential for good that the gods have. And back in Hades' throne room, he states that the lasso is made from more than Prometheus, but also the last living basilisk, which he tries to shame her for killing, despite the fact that she killed it in self-defense because Zeus
Sicked it on her.
Yeah, it's just my notes. It says it's a word that's misspelled, and I don't know what I was trying to say. But he tasked, but it says takes. It's supposed to say tasked. Zeus tasked it to endlessly harass her. So to defeat the basilisk, Diana snuck into its den and blinded herself to avoid being turned to stone by its gaze, and distracted its senses with a magical stink bomb. Being sure to get rid of her sense of smell beforehand, because apparently she's just really good at removing senses.
Yeah.
She then beheads it, and her and Cersei make use of its entire body, as not to waste it and disrespect it in death. And after very smugly telling the story, Hades reveals to Diana that he has her mother held prisoner in the underworld. And at the end, we get 2 short stories of Diana's youth, drawn by Dustin Nguyen. In the first, we see Diana first learning to transmogrify and deciding to turn a health spawn into a phoenix because that's what it told her it wanted to be, despite being instructed to turn it into something else by her mother. And in the second story, Diana saves her friends from the mouth of a giant monstrous worm. I don't know why, but it like I was apparently it like auto corrected some of my Dianas to like Diane. It
That's
or not even
weird.
Diane to Dian, no A at the end, no E, nothing. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on there, but I keep reading it as Diana,
You
but I don't know why that happened. But yeah,
you do your notes in Google Docs, right?
yeah.
The autocorrect in Google Docs has begun to really like suck for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
it's been
is.
I
pissing
blame
me off.
AI.
I'm like, what do you mean? Right,
It's
it has
probably
to be.
AI's
Yeah.
fault.
But yeah, what did you guys think of issue number 6?
I really, really liked issue number 6. I love the whole bit with Prometheus. I love how big he is also. Like I wasn't
Right.
expecting that, but I was really like a fan that they made him kind of giant.
Mhm.
And then the little Diana comics I think are so adorable. She's just a
Same.
little
I like
girl.
getting glimpses to her past growing up in hell.
Yeah, I know you were
Mm.
chomping at the bit to talk about this last episode, Bree,
What do you mean?
because you read ahead and you were excited to talk about this
I
issue.
did not mean to, but like it's so good.
It
Like
is
the
really
art is
good.
amazing. I was not expecting it. Like the way my eyes just shot open when I went to like the next volume. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. It's like seeing Diana in that first panel, in this new art style. It's like they knew what they were doing. They knew
Exactly.
that they had something special here with the
I was
way
like,
it's
pandering
framed.
to me
Mm, mm.
specifically.
Right. And also, I
um,
really like the way Hades is written here.
right? Dickhead. Also, I like how they designed him. I didn't expect this to be like a legitimate design for him.
Yeah.
He's just a ball of fire.
Yeah,
Which I think is
with
really
a
neat.
red crown.
Exactly. I like the contrast.
Mm.
Don't get me started on contrast, man.
Mm-hmm. You know, while we're talking about designs, that Persephone
Well, we'll
design
get
is
there.
beautiful.
We'll get
Oh,
there.
I was
Yeah,
about to
We'll
say.
get there.
we'll get there.
So, in issue number 7, we open with a young Diana chasing after a dog Gorgon when she suddenly runs into Persephone, who asks her to show her around the Wild Isle. In the present, Diana is fighting against a jacked humanoid chimera as Hades and Persephone watch. Hades asks Persephone if he should borrow magic from being used during the fight, and she snidely remarks that he'd be doubly embarrassed when Diana beats his warrior with one arm if he did that. We then get a title page before flashing back to the Wild Isle as Circe summons Hecate as a young Diana sleeps to ask how she is supposed to help Diana escape hell when the time comes. And Hecate responds with by saying the way has been prepared and leaves behind a storybook titled The Lady or the Tiger. We then flash back to the fight between Diana and the Chimera as it breathes fire at Diana and Hades teases a gagged Circe for her inability to speak her magic. We flash once again back to Wild Isle as Circe reads the story of the Lady and Tiger to young Diana, which is shown through illustrations mimicking the paintings on Greek pottery, the story of the Lady and or the Tiger, that is. In the story, a princess falls in love with a common-born man and is discovered by her father, the king, who sends him to the arena. The arena? What is that
The
word?
arena
Here
is
is wild.
crazy.
Oh, that's the American in me. I'm sorry. To the arena, where the gods may choose his fate. The man must choose between two doors, one with a tiger behind it, and another with a woman behind it, who he will take as his bride. The princess promises to find out which is which to help him survive, but discovers that the woman is a former lover of the man's, who she despises, making the choice for her more difficult than she initially conceived. The story ends with her subtly nodding toward a door and the man walking through it, leaving the rest to our imagination. Young Diana is unsatisfied with this ending and finds the princess lacking due to her lapse in judgment. From there, we flash back and forth between Diana's fight and the past as she continues to wrestle with the themes of the story before finally realizing that she is not the princess in the story, but the man. We then stay in the present as Diana reluctantly kills the Chimera and in her rage calls upon the power of Themis, the Greek titaness of divine law, order, and justice, to threaten Hades with a reckoning in the near future. Hades then presents Diana with two doors, just like in the story, one that leads to certain death and one that leads to freedom. but that she will never be able, or she will never be allowed to return to hell if she gets her freedom, and therefore will never be able to see her mother again. And Cersei, who's the princess in this scenario, nods toward one, which Diana goes through, and it turns out to be the exit. But before she leaves, Diana frees Cersei, bewildering Hades. But Diana reveals that she ate a pomegranate seed, just like Persephone did ages ago, which will allow her to return to hell once a month. The rule stated that she must, or that she may and must, return to the underworld once a month. And I imagine that the rule will come back to bite her in the ass eventually, when she's needed most on Earth. Persephone tells Hades that he could abide by his own rules or break them, but that would also release Persephone, and he would lose his wife. So Hades begrudgingly accepts and claims that Diana has made a motivated enemy, and she says that he has as well in her. And of course, the chapter ends. Well, no, not that yet. The chapter ends with Diana flying Cersei back to the Wild Isle, but never touching the ground herself, lest she be trapped there for a month. So they say their tear-filled goodbyes. And at the end, we get two more little Diana stories by Nguyen. In the first, Diana chastises a monster from attempting to eat its friends. And in the second, she convinces Cersei to let one more tiny creature enter their home that's already filled with tiny creatures. So, thoughts on this little mini arc, little Diana and this issue in particular?
I really, really liked it.
This read so well. Like my brain was animating this because it was like translated so well into like because I know we complained about like the previous volumes where like the action didn't translate too well, but this, oh my gosh, accompanied with like the flashbacks, so good.
And then so this is not my first encounter with the Lady or the Tiger story. My first run-in with it is actually in a novel, a YA, you could call it YA, called The Tale of Dark and Grim, where that comes back up. So when they dropped that title card, I damn near lost my mind because I'm like, this is gonna be something so fun, something so fun. But I really, really enjoyed it. I liked this mini arc a lot, and it makes me kind of sad that it was only a guest mini arc because I really like the art. I really like everything about it, and I'm like, dang, I'd like to see more of this. But that's not to say that regular Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman is good.
It's the same writer. You're gonna get the same kind of storytelling.
But the art's not the same.
I get it. I like this art, but Hayden Sherman's is goated. Okay, I love Hayden Sherman.
I really like Persephone's design. It's so good. Goated. She's so pretty.
Yeah, very. You can tell that I feel like they're taking inspiration from Wonder Woman Historia, where they give the gods and goddesses such radically different and like not just human people in togas, designs. They don't just they don't just look like Greeks, but maybe slightly bigger. They look like otherworldly. Very similar to Historia.
I think my favorite panel in this has to be where like Diana is talking to Hades and he's like, "You dare," and she's like, "I do." That had me shook. I was shaking my boots.
Make sure you send a screenshot.
You already did.
Oh, okay. Did I? Really?
Yeah, you basically said the ones I was gonna say, so I was like, "Oh, no use in doing that now."
Yeah.
And also, I really do like that they like Hades is blue fire and not like any other color, because it's like the Greek underworld to me is like, I don't know, it's just much colder than like traditional depictions of hell in the underworld. You know what I'm saying? And I think the blue fire really lends to that, because it's like in my head, I'm like, I know blue fire is hotter, but there's still that chill to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
It's also the contrast of like, how they do like red is evil, blue is good, and how it's swapped here.
But also, Hades is blue fire in Hercules.
Is you're right.
That's what it made me think of.
10 steps ahead.
Yeah, this was great. You know what I'm excited to see in this? Heracles.
Ooh, true. I really liked what they did with him in this.
He hasn't showed up in the book yet, where I'm at. So I'm excited to see if he ever shows up, and if he probably will. It's just a matter of like, what form will he take? He's usually the villain in these stories. I think it'd be interesting if in this universe he was a good guy, because he's usually evil
Right.
in Wonder Woman stories. So it would be interesting to see him be a good guy this time around,
Right.
or at the very least
I
be
also agree.
a lot more complicated. Because he's
Mm.
usually pretty not complicated, but not too complicated. But if he is going to be more of a villain, maybe he'd be more of a complicated villain that could turn around and maybe doesn't do anything so despicable that he can't come back from it, like he does in George Perez's single issue that we read. Which
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately in that book they try to redeem him.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where we're ending our journey with Wonder Historia so far. Of course, continue to read if you so wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
keep
I
up
will.
with it.
I will be.
I have to.
Right.
I need to read the other
Let me
ones.
tell
I
you.
did start
Let
reading
me
the Batman versus Big B. I need to keep up with
let
it.
me tell you, if you want to sail to the island of Lesbos, you
Nice.
should continue reading this.
Noted. That's
Um,
all you had to say.
but yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read Superman Birthright. That's gonna be a while. So we're probably gonna start Superman Birthright after this next comic, but then like stop halfway through and then read Witch Hat LA and then come back to Birthright. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna read the first issue of the other history of the DC Universe for Black History Month. So the other history of DC Universe are 5 issues. Each of them are about different people of color in the DC Universe, not just Black people. But we're going to read the first one because they're all long, and essentially we only have to actually have read one and have it come out within the month. We only have time for one. So we're only going to read the first issue, and the first issue is focusing on Black Lightning.